Greetings, patients, and welcome to another episode of Doc Docs Reviews, your premier documentary review show. My name is Doc Hawk, and just sort of continuing along this tradition of me walking out of the theater and just kind of spreading my thoughts. Literally just got out seconds ago from a documentary called Three Identical Strangers. So yeah, it's a documentary in theaters. Again, 2 documentaries in theaters in a row. So glad that documentaries are getting out there and people are seeing them. The theater had quite a few people actually, so excited to see a documentary with a lot of buzz. I saw it on my Movie Pass, and it was like the first one, so I don't know if they're having some sort of deal with Movie Pass or whatnot, but it's good to see that people are seeing this. It started out being like a really heartwarming story about these 3 siblings that had been separated come back together and become really good friends and seemingly have so many things in common. And they had been on all these news shows. I had never heard about this, but apparently it was a widely regarded story in the 80s. And then it sort of turns into something a little more serious, and there's some deeper issues there. I really dig this movie and just how long it took to do the research and tell the story, the full story with closure, because there is a satisfying resolution at the end. There were some interesting techniques used as well that I noticed. They recreated scenes of the brothers meeting. They're about like in their 50s, I think. So they're kind of recounting their story, and as it's happening, they're getting these actors to tell the audience how they met, and they try not to show their faces to sort of immerse you into how it actually was. And so I found that really interesting and something I hadn't seen before. They explore why they were separated in the first place. That's the question that is sort of the crux of this whole film. Whereas the news reports and stories that were coming out at the time were more interested in their relationship, like I was mentioning. Like that, they take care of that in the documentary right off the bat. And I really liked how there's deeper and deeper levels. I mentioned this for documentaries before, like Icarus, for example, was one I really liked because it started out as one thing, but there's a deeper story. Like if you keep asking questions, you know, the director, you know, the people that put this documentary together, the reporters, everything, they take all that in and just keep asking why and how, and just things keep on revealing themselves. And it's very, very fascinating. There were some moments that did kind of feel repetitive and didn't kind of treat me and maybe some other viewers like we could remember things, because they showed a lot of the same clips to sort of remind you of things that happened previously in the documentary. But I'm like, if you just shown the new information, we could recall that past thing. Not to say it was like a huge gripe, but it did bother me a little bit. Like I was like, all right, let's cut to the chase. Maybe we can cut this out. You know, if we cut it out, I don't think it would lose too much. It's impressive how the documentary actually goes one step further in revealing information to the siblings that kind of furthers the story and gets a little bit closer to the bottom of why they were separated. And it does, I'll mention the thing that it touches on, and that's without spoiling too much, but it's like, it's nature versus nurture. Like, is it more being raised, you know, what makes you you, or is it your genes and your genetic makeup? And you know, that's still in question. I love how it gets to that question and makes you really think. And I'm gonna think about this one for a long time. So in that sense, it's a very memorable documentary, and one that I will remember. But how it gets there, I won't say. Just know that if you're looking for, you know, a happy movie about how these strangers reunite and everything's all right, then this movie is not going to be for you. It's a little more challenging than that. It's a little dark, and I love documentaries that can reveal things that we're still debating and still thinking about. So overall, really fascinating documentary that I would recommend. And yeah, so feel free to hit that subscribe button if you enjoy these types of a little more raw documentary reviews, and I'll keep on going with them. I think there's quite a few that are coming out. Whitney, I think, is one that's in theaters as well, so I want to check that out. But yeah, so hit that like button, share it with a friend, and go out and check out, Three Identical Strangers. I do recommend it, and if you did see it, leave a comment about what you thought of it. So thank you so much for watching. I've been Doc Hawk, and you have been prescribed.